Hello, everyone, and welcome to the reading of the week for June 28th to July 2nd. I hope you are all enjoying this beautiful summer now that it is underway here in the Northern Hemisphere. Where I am, we've been having some hot weather, which is welcome. So I'd just like to invite you all to take 3 nice deep breaths with me, pull our energies into sync across time and space, and I'll set the intention. You may also want to visualize a tree root coming out of the base of your spine and grounding you deep into Mother Earth, becoming a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass into Mother Earth and become compost for new growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here to do the reading of the week for the highest and greatest good of all those listening and the greater, wider good of all life on this planet, including this planet herself. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening to be present and facilitate this exchange, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to ensure that we cover all that needs to be covered, all that is in our collective heart and mind at this time, that I may deliver it well, clearly, and from a place of the highest and greatest good of everyone concerned. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that is most needed right now, and to provide that in a manner that will be easily and effortlessly heard, understood, and integrated for the highest and greatest benefit of anyone listening and all life everywhere. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of transformation, of healing, of peace, of anything, again, that is in our collective heart and mind at this time. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match our intentions and frequencies of light, of love, of clarity, of wisdom, of transformation, of healing, of peace, of upliftment is welcome to go now. All right. I think I'm going to continue just with those shorter readings because, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a lot of time to watch long videos these days. I'm guessing you're probably the same way. So short and sweet, right to the point. So what do we need to know this week for our greater, highest, and greatest good? Okay. Recent past, the influence is waning, but it continues into our present and into our future. And here we have the Lover's card. And the Lover's card, the story is that this fellow here in his cute outfit is being held by true love's light embrace. And she has these rays of light coming off her because she is enlightened. She is intentional. She's a conscious individual and all of her chakras are activated. And so she's happy to be in relationship with this person without demanding or being, let me put this, as I said, true love's light embrace. So that understanding that you need to give room to something that you love so that it can thrive, even if it means that it may make a poor choice. So in this card, and if you could see it here, it's a little fuzzy. We have this sultry creature down in the corner, and that's who he's distracted by. Now, it's an interesting thing. This card in other decks, well, the one that I study is the man and the woman are standing, and there's an overlighting angel. And the idea of this card is discernment, this idea that we are needing to be wise and discerning about where we put our energy. And part of that discernment comes when we tune into the broader, wiser part of us. So this card in the recent past, it's a major arcana, which means it's part of our soul growth and our evolution. But it also indicates that we are needing to be discerning, or that we've been learning discerning. We've been looking around, and yes, there's lots to distract us, but what's true? What is true and authentic? What is congruent with our hearts? And how are we showing up in the world? How are we holding ourselves in true love's light embrace, giving ourselves lots of room and space to do what we need to do and to be here and to make wise decisions and choices from our, again, this broader, wiser part of us, not letting ourselves get distracted and pulled off center. This present card is Temperance. And so temperance is all about balance. It's all about not overdoing anything. It's about being wise, wise with our resources, wise with our time, wise with our energy, about being balanced, not overdoing anything. So this is a reminder in our present environment that we need to kind of stay the course, keep going, don't overdo anything, just stay in a good place and keep showing up, keep going, keep flowing the love, the energy of life through you in a balanced way, understanding that you are in a human body and the human body needs care and attention. So that's very important with this card, is this idea of care and attention and balance, and bringing yourself to the task in a mindful way, keeping in mind, again, the limitations of the human form and what you need to be aware of in that regard, so you can stay healthy and well. The near future, so that's 2 major arcanas. That's pretty significant. Oh, and here we have a third. So this is very interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out for us this week. So the Death card. Now, this card is the card that a lot of people are afraid of when they hear about tarot or have a tarot reading. They're afraid they're going to pull the Death card. I just want to reassure you that although it can mean the ending of human life or the ending of earthly existence, it really means radical transformation. It really means that deep ending that then creates space for more life. This is sitting in our near future. So as I said, it can mean physical death, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not limited to that. It can mean a radical ending. It can mean big finishings, big finales, big wrap-ups. And we need to realize that sometimes big things have to end in order to make room for the new things to begin. So if this energy shows up in your field, keep your eyes open for what's next. Keep your eyes open for the new life that comes as a result of one door closing and a new one opening. It's, the door closing behind you on a segment of your life, and then you're standing at the threshold of the new life. So this is sitting in our near future. Again, major arcana, moving forward into the new, into the unknown, into the unexpected, into that which is radically different from what we've been familiar with. I think collectively, this is very understandable that we're needing to end things that have not been serving us and move ourselves forward, even if we don't really know where we're going. The Death card has these cocoons at the bottom of it. And the symbolism, of course, of the butterfly and the metamorphosis that happens when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and then emerges as the butterfly, that caterpillar thinks it's dying. It's the end of its life, or I'm assuming it must think it's dying because I can't imagine what else it would feel like. But what happens is ultimately that butterfly emerges from the cocoon with wings, transformed, has a completely different perspective and experience of reality from that of what came before, which was the caterpillar. So this is us. This is where we're going. We're metamorphosing from being the caterpillar, which could exist just on a very limited area, to that of the butterfly, which all of a sudden has wings and can travel far greater distances and experience far, far more than we did when we were caterpillars. So this is our transition, our movement is from this energy of discernment, of practicing awareness, of practicing wise use of our life force and our energies and our attentions, being deliberate about where are we putting our attention? Is it what's for our highest and greatest good? The balancing act in the current time. It's like not overdoing anything. What's happening is awareness is surfacing. It's not like any of us really need to go to any extraordinary lengths unless you feel called in your heart that this is part of your service, is to share information or to stand up in the world and share a new perspective, because we do need new perspectives. That's part of this ending and new beginning. Yeah, it's interesting. The threshold that humanity stands at. We really need to turn things around. I was listening to a documentary yesterday that was talking about how in the United States, 1 in 3 men is unable to, it's not infertility, but they're not able to produce viable genetic material to create a baby. So that could mean the ending of humanity, I suppose, too, if we really wanted to be cynical and negative about it. Radical change is needed. Radical change from all of us. What are we prepared to do? Where are we prepared to go? How are we prepared to be on this planet? Because how we've been doing things, of course, isn't serving us, but how do we change? How do we go to this new thing? And I think the information is coming. I believe people have answers, and those answers are coming to us. Again, it's interesting because we have this don't do anything too crazy, and then we have this radical change. I think we'll be led to the radical change. I think it'll be clear to us what we need to do when we get there. Okay, foundation card for the reading this week. It's the King of Wands. So this is the king, the masculine energy of the suit of wands, which is all about creativity, inspiration, and passion. So once again, we're reminded we have to anchor into our passion, our enthusiasm, our highest energy, our highest enthusiasm is what will lead us forward into a positive future that will be deeply satisfying and fulfilling and nourishing for all of us. So ground your life in this. And if you don't know what makes you the most enthusiastic and inspired and happy, get curious and start exploring your life with that lens. Start looking at what you are more interested in, because you certainly know from contrast in your life what you're more interested in versus what you're not interested in. But this is calling us, the foundation of the reading is how we need to be, what we're being called to. And it's to give our creative, generative energy more license, more opportunity to flow so that we can be a clearing for more of that on the planet. It's in our creative, generative energy state that we will come up with the solutions that we need to move us forward into this beautiful future. Yes, it's going to take energy. It's going to take time and energy. But if we follow what's exciting to us, it won't feel like work. It'll be inspiring. It'll be exciting. It'll be enjoyable. So get curious about who are you and what is your generative service? What is that life force in you calling you towards? What is it pulling you towards? And that's life calling to life, that enthusiasm, that excitement, that inspiration. And giving yourself permission to go and look at that, to go and explore that, is saying yes to more life. You say yes to more life and then more flows into your experience. But if you turn this off, that's when we start to die. That's when we start to get sick. That's when we start to be miserable. We always have to stay tuned to this broader, wiser energy of our creative, generative passion, enthusiasm, inspiration, deep well-being, satisfaction. Those are all words that speak to that energy of the fire energy, the element of fire and how it's experienced through us. So from this foundation of generative energy, we learn where to be putting our awareness. We've been learning this, what's important, what's valuable, where do we need to be giving our attention. Here, being balanced and wise, not overdoing anything, taking care of ourselves. And then this transformation in the near future, this idea that we are moving towards radical changes, radical endings. There will be big differences to be experienced. That's what that card tells me. Okay, I'm going to pull a card for the reading of the week if that feels like it's relatively complete for you. Let's just see what our card to grow on is. Just a summarizing card to tell us where we need to give our attention and energy this week, what will serve us best into the highest and best expression of our service on this planet to transform this earth and our collective human experience for the greater good. What do we need to know this week? Princess of Pentacles. So princesses are pages in other decks, and they indicate new beginnings, like a baby, new business, new start, fresh start, that kind of thing. So for us, keeping fresh perspective, fresh starts, looking in our world. So Pentacles has to do with the earth element, that's material things. So allowing ourselves a fresh perspective on our world, a new beginning on the material world, that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're seeing with that death card. It's like we need a fresh, new way of being on this planet, one that honors this wonderful world we get to call home, honors the air, the waters, the land, and all the other creatures that we cohabitate this planet with. So there's a lot of, it's paying attention. So this week going forward, what's our card to grow on is this idea of what would a new beginning on earth look like? What would that, if you were to vision that, what would it look like? And just celebrate that, enjoy that, get into it, give it some energy, some juice, because if we're all creatively visualizing the world that we want to see, we're pulling it towards us. We're giving it attention and energy, and where energy goes, where attention goes, energy flows. So if we want to pull this new world towards us, we need to get to it and do it with intention and attention. So our card to grow on this week is the Princess of Pentacles, the new, crafting the new, dreaming the new, creating space for this new world, this new vision of possibility for ourselves and for the collective. Very interesting. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in this week. Creator, I want to thank you for the opportunity to do this work. I ask that you be with us all as we navigate the coming week and the coming times, that we navigate this energy of change and transformation to the best of our abilities, that we become the greater beings that we're here to be, that we understand that we are divine energy in a human form, here to co-create magnificently and create a wonderful world where everyone can thrive and everyone can be seen and heard and acknowledged and recognized and have a wonderful experience of well-being, radiant health, and happiness. Much love and light to each and every one of you who's here this week. May you be blessed in your week ahead. May you be inspired by a vision of your future that is encouraging, healthy, happy, joyful, inspiring. I want to thank all those who helped to hold the space today. Thank you. The reading is at an end, and so it is. Thank you, everybody. Much love and light, and I will see you next Friday. Take care.